Let me tell you a story about twin brothers. Football stars who were going to play in college until they changed directions, joined the UNL band, became ag entrepreneurs while still in school, producing corn, beef, and soybeans, hops, and whiskey. Fourth generation farmers, borrowing from the past but doing it their own way. That's the short version of Upstream Farms. There's a lot more you need to know about these guys and what they're doing. So what is Upstream?
It's the intersection of agriculture, creativity, entrepreneurship, innovation, all those things that we find, even music in a way, all those things that we are passionate about. We wanted to create a space that we could do that and do it for the rest of our lives.
I think at its core, what it's doing is it's taking products that we've raised on our family's farm for generation and maybe adding more value to them than what they are right now.
Matt and Joe run Upstream as a separate business in tandem with their family farm, working the family land, living in their grandparents' old house. It looks a lot like any farm operation. But the beef they raise is sold directly to people serving or eating it, online or in a Lincoln store. The corn they grow feeds the cattle, but also becomes whiskey.
The process that we're doing right now is called our spirit run, which is taking all of the alcohol that we have, putting it into the still and redistilling it so that we can separate those flavorful alcohols versus the ones that we're not looking for.
So start to finish, how long does it take to make a barrel of whiskey?
It takes us about a month to do a barrel of whiskey.
There's hops they sell to a handful of local breweries. Hops harvest is over, so all we're left with is this kind of quirky maze of poles and wires and stuff. So what got you into hops?
Well, I think for a long time, we looked at these underutilized acres that are on our farm and said, what can we do with those acres that might be a little bit different and help us diversify what we're growing?
They talk a lot about diversity, something that used to happen more, like when their grandpa grew 5 different crops and raised milk cows, chickens, and pigs. It'd be a lot easier just to do a corn-soybean rotation, wouldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
How hard is it to break out of that mindset?
I mean, for us, it wasn't too hard because we did it out of necessity. We see what the future of agriculture looks like.
Bottom line, small and traditional wasn't going to cut it.
The idea that we have seen in the way that agriculture is going is you're either going to get bigger and survive, or you're going to have to really be innovative if you're going to stay small and survive in this industry.
They network and collaborate with like-minded rural entrepreneurs, brewers and coffee roasters, pork and honey producers who sell their products under the Upstream brand. And they aren't shy about telling their story, especially on social media.
My name is Matt. My name is Joe. We're twin brothers and co-founders of Upstream Farms.
One of their first hires was a photographer. It's not an ego thing.
We can talk about what we're doing day to day. We can educate people, we can entertain people, and we can also just say, this is our life. This is what it's like to be a farmer. And there's a story in agriculture that's not being told right now. There is a space where we've seen this divide between people and their food and their connection to it, and we want to fill that gap.
This is what they always wanted to do. As little kids playing with a toy farm set, as high school grads who were introduced to UNL's Angler Ag Entrepreneurship Program and decided that was more important than playing football. Twins who got a love of agriculture from dad, creativity from mom, ties that bind from both. You've been connected forever. You ever drive each other nuts?
Yep. All the time.
All the time.
I would say that, yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things where I could never imagine doing this without Matt, even though there's days that I feel like, man, it'd be just great if I could just go do my own thing and I wouldn't have to have somebody offering a counterpoint to everything that we're talking about. There's more cows out here than there are people, and you can talk to your cows as much as you want to, but they're not going to talk back.
I know.
And so it's nice to be able to have somebody to be able to, run a business with and not have to do it on your own. It makes everything a lot less scary.
The Brugger brothers understand it takes time, patience, to see the finished product when you're producing stuff like beef and whiskey. They just didn't want to wait until later in life to do it their way, with their ideas. When you're pushing against the current, hence the Upstream name, there's people who think you're crazy, and some bad days, when winds blow down your hops vines or whiskey barrels leak. But the good days,
I remember there was a couple times, I mean, we got done with a day, and like, I remember you just going, that was a perfect day. Like, that was just, if every day could be that way. And we started saying, okay, as ourselves personally, how can we have more of those days?
Yeah, how can we replicate that?
Yeah, and I think then that starts to look like what success is for us, and we stop trying to chase that next thing, and that next thing is next thing. It's just, what's your ideal day look like, and then how can you have that for the rest of your life?